Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher again. The last time we talked about making templates, and we got the pattern and we made the templates out of them. So I'll just go over that real quick with you. We cut it out to the outline of the pattern, okay? So what I've done since is I put it on a block of wood where the grain is going this way, and I'm going to outline the profile first, and I want to show you that. I did that with a ballpoint pen going all the way around, and then we'll go to the back room of mine, and that's where I have my bandsaw, and I'll cut that out for you, and I'll show you how to do that. And like I said before, I do have a catalog, and if anybody's interested in wanting to do this project, I do have kits for the spotted sandpiper, and it comes with the feet, the eyes, the pattern, and the blank, and it's a basswood blank, which is a really good carving wood, and I've been using it for years. Okay, so I really like that wood. I prefer that over most. You can carve it with a knife, and you can do power carving with it. So the other thing too is for those who may just be coming onto my channel, I do have not only the kits, you can get the blank, or if you just want the feet or the eyes, I have them. And I have them for other birds. I have a whole list of birds and animals that I have done before on in a catalog. And if anybody wants anything, I can send a catalog out to you. If you write to me through my email address, and this is the way it goes. It's Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 @gmail.com. And I will send you out a catalog. You can see what's available. I also have my phone number on the catalog if you want to get in touch with me, or if you want to write to me. I have my email address there as well. You can ask me questions. I'll try to guide you to what I think is the best thing, and I'll try to be upfront with you on all that, and we'll proceed on as far as whatever you may need. You know, I have most of the equipment that I sell is what I use. So if you see me with the Fordham, or you see me with the Ram grinder, or the Optivisor burning unit, I have all that. And I have a lot of other stuff. I have bits and things that you may need, or hogging bits for taking things down and the whole bit. So I have all that, and you can see some of it in the catalog. I don't put everything into it, but if you contact me, I'll surely try to help you. And if I don't have it, I'll put you on to what I think is a good buy and where to go for it, okay? Try to be upfront with you on that. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure, I'm going to heavy up the outline on the block of wood here, because it's a little light. Now, I'm going to take you in the back so that you can see what's going on, and hopefully you get an idea how to cut them out. In case you do have a bandsaw, you can get my pattern, and then you can cut your own out, okay? So you could do it that way. It doesn't matter. And if you just want to buy feet and eyes from me or something like that, or the pattern. Now, the pattern is the scale, and I do have it to metric, okay, this time. Apparently, I'm getting all over the place, so metric seems to be what everybody's using. And I know in the States, we go for fractions of an inch and so on. And it's not that hard to convert over. Most rulers, like I have one here, and it has feet and inches on one side, and on the other side's the metric. You have each little one from 0 to 1 is a centimeter, and all these little ones in between, it takes 10 millimeters to make 1 centimeter. So it's pretty cut and dry. At one time, the United States was going to go with metric, and it never happened. So, but yeah, so I have it in the metric, and it's not that hard. I used to be in engineering, and we did a job over in Italy, and you had to learn metric. So I've been through that, and that it's hard to convert back. So, but anyway, long story short, I will take you in my back room. I will show you how I cut out a blank, because it's not totally cut and dry just by what you see. Okay, so let me help you out on that, so that when you do cut your blanks out, that you get the idea of what's the correct way, and try to get you out of maybe some of the foxholes you can get into as you cut these, okay? So it's not that hard. It really isn't. So I'm going to turn the camera to the back room, and we'll see if we can't get you so that you can see what's going on back there. And hopefully, if you want to do your own, this is how you do it, okay? And anytime somebody may have a pattern of a bird, maybe I don't even have it, you know, or something like that, and you want that cut out, I'll cut them out for you, you know. I'll provide that service if that's what you need, and you can get the pattern to me and I'll cut it out for you. I've had some people get European birds, and they're a little different than the American or North American birds, I should say. And they're a little longer sometime, or fatter, or something like that. I could cut them out for you if you have a pattern. If you have the profile view and the top view, not a problem at all. And we'll try to work with you on that too. So that's also, if I could help you out, that'd be great. The other thing I want to mention to you also is, if you are enjoying my videos and you're getting something out of it, I wish you, if you can give me a thumbs up. And the other thing is, if you would subscribe to my channel, that's a big help, a real big help. And if you know anybody else that's interested in, right now I'm doing bird carvings, but I originally started with the otters, which were miniature. Now, with the sandpiper, this is a full size, okay? But every once in a while, if the bird gets real big, like I did a great horned owl, complete from beginning to end, but it was only about a quarter scale, and that was about 7 or 8 inches long. It's a busy bird, and to do something really big, we'd be here forever, you know? So I try to, where I think it'll fit on your shelf rather than these big birds. If you ever want to do the bigger bird, say like you get my pattern, you can blow it up 4 times. And then if you have the facility to cut out that big of a piece of wood, or get that big of a piece of wood, you could do it yourself, you know. But in most cases, I try to keep within a reasonable size. But mostly all the songbirds, shorebirds, they're not really real big. And they can be, you can get them pretty good, you know what I mean, as far as the wood. I've done a polar bear with the babies and so on. And that was miniaturized, of course. And they come out really neat, and it's kind of cute, the babies and stuff like that. So I try to do different things along the way. I've done a rabbit standing up smelling a flower, and I try to do different things. I do fish. I've done a fish. I've done a trout. I've done a turtle. So it's been a variety of things I've gotten into. Caricatures, I sort of touched on that, but that's not my point of interest. And a lot of people today are leaning that way. I'm trying to get realism into whatever I carve. Caricatures are not that way. So I'm going to take you to the back and we'll get you started, okay? Thanks. Okay, we're in my back room here. I got the bandsaw here. And what I did is I heavied this up so that you could see it. This is the profile view of the sandpiper, okay? So I did this with a magic marker so that you could see it better. And this is the direction that the grain is going. And you should always try to get it in the direction so there's strength in the tail and the beak. So I usually cut them out like this, but sometimes you have to go the opposite way, like I said in the last video. So I'm going to show you how I go about cutting this out. I use a bandsaw blade that's a quarter of an inch. It's a 6-hook tooth. It grabs along the way and it really cuts. It's only a quarter of an inch in width here, so I just want to let you know that. I've been using this setup for a long time. Now, if you're cutting bigger boards and for length, you may want a wider one, but for what we're doing here, this is fine, and it allows you to get tight corners and everything else. So let me show you. It's going to get a little noisy, but bear with me here. I'm going to follow as best I can the line work I made. So I try to cut it right on the line. There's no one way to cut this out, but I'll come up and instead of really trying to get a real sharp turn in there, I'll stop, back it off a little bit, and then I'll get rid of some of this. Now, I don't have the beak cut out yet, so what I'll do is I'll do that next. It's more of a straightaway than it is anything else. So I'll do the bottom of the beak here. Just want to play safe, you can always leave the edge of your line there. Just stay just slightly outside of it. Now I did the belly side here. Now we're going to do the top side. And this is pretty much a run, just a straight run. So I come off the top of the beak. Everything with this side's blade will pretty much go with me without binding up or anything. And I can get it pretty close. There you have it, okay? Now we still have to do some trimming. The tail still needs to be brought in here, and a little bit on the beak, just a slight little bit. There you go. Now there's the profile, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it back to my table. I'm going to show you as we look down on this, how I lay, excuse me. One thing you should do is wear your dust mask, and I'm proving that right here. So it's good even when you're grinding and stuff like that to wear a dust mask. If you have a dust collector, that's even better, okay? So this is your basic outline. This came from a nice plain block of basswood, and it really cuts pretty true from one end to the other. So let me show you when I take you back, okay? So bear with me a second here. Now we're back at the table, and what I usually use this time is a pencil. And I'll show you why. I'm going to use the template I made for the top, this top view here, which is this one here. And I'm going to get this, and I'm going to hold this like this. This here is a view looking down from the top of the profile here, looking straight down, and that's what this is right here. So to get like a true projection straight down, you can't tilt this way, and you can't tilt this way. You have to hold it, and I'm going to try to do this while you're in camera range here. I'm going to try to get it so that if I were looking down on this, the tail of the template is touching the end of the wood, and at the same time I want to make sure that both sides of the piece of wood I cut out is in the framework of the pattern. And then I look to see, by holding this on the top of the head here looking down, excuse me, I'm trying to do this at the same time while we got a camera going here. I'm going to draw a line across here for the front of the beak. Then I'm going to come and look down from the top and outline this and hold it so that I can follow this all the way down and look down from the outside, okay? Now, the other thing you want to do is you can start up on the beak here a little bit, and you got to switch this around. And I'm going to put this way. I want to make sure it's not a lay down now. I can't lay this down, either the front or the back. So I go back to make sure my outline is on the edge here. And as I'm looking down on here, the tip of this is right where I marked off the end of the beak. I came up here now, so I'm looking down on the edge, and I come down to there. And I'm following this pattern right around, making sure that my pencil line is on the edge here, and then I'm drawing this back. Now, I do this with a pencil only because if I didn't do it right, I can erase it pretty easy. So there is the outline of the bird. And if I lay this down, you see you don't get a true projection straight down. It's really like this. And that's what I was trying to get you to understand. I usually try to make sure that the beak is inside the piece of wood. It doesn't have to be to the edge of it, but it would usually get pretty close. And also, it wants to line this end with that end down there. And once you got that, then you could look down from the top. Now, I'm trying to look from the top at the same time I got a camera in front of me. So I think I got that pretty good. Let me see. I'll check myself out here again. And I don't want to get too chintzy on this as far as I may come out just a little bit more over on this side, just to make sure. And I'll follow that other line. Okay? And So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run the bandsaw right along this line. Comes right around here, and it follows it right on out. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I wanted to show you how that happens. It's like I said, if I laid it flat, you can see there's a lot of distortion there. And what it really is you're getting it like this, because the tail is going down. It's like in this position here. Say, the head is up here, the tail's down there, and the tail is like down there, but you can't just lay it down. You have to hold it up. So I usually go to the top of the head. I'll get my thumb to hold it in position. Make sure that this end is within the wood here, just almost to the end. And then also I want to make sure that the end of this is at the end of this piece of wood, so it's all within that. I don't have the rounded corner here. I just cut it out. When we go to carve it, that'll take care of the roundness, okay? So I just want you to see how that goes. Now, I'm going to take you in the back room again. I'm going to show you what I do when I cut this out, and I do a little trimming. So if you ever get a blank from me, like say like this one's already cut out. I'm going to show you, I cut on a 45-degree chamfer on these corners just to get rid of some of the wood that is still there, because it's really squared up. It gets really squared up, and I want to make it easier for you to carve, because we got to round this body eventually here, and a lot of this wood is excess. It's too much. Okay, so I'm going to take you in the back, and we will proceed on and see if we can't cut that out, and I'll show you the proper way of doing that too. Okay, we're back at it in the back room here again. I want to explain one other thing. And I just want to reiterate what I said in the last video. This block of wood is about 2 1/8 of an inch in thickness. And you have to have that so that you can get your whole template on that piece of wood. You got to have that size of wood, or bigger, you know, and then cut it out so you have more to trim off. But I just want to let you know that you got to maintain that much wood, okay, to cut it out and have it so that it'll accept the pattern. I really played close here. I have just about a 1/16 on either side. That's bigger than what the pattern calls for, okay? So follow me here. I'm going to make a little noise again, but I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to start from the tail, and I hold my piece and I walk it along the pencil line. And when I get to the thin side here, I really go nice and slow. And I want to keep my hands out of the blade, that's for sure. And I'm following this pattern. Okay. See, I just got right up to the pencil. Now, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to get this, start right on that pencil line, take this back, follow that line. When you get to the end, see, that'll pop off. Now, I'll get back in on that same spot if I can. Follow it. Right there. Okay, we got it only thing we need to do is there a little bit of a straightaway we got to trim off, just very little, and now we got everything that needs to be done. Now this is what I was explaining to you. These corners are what you have to round over, and there's a lot of work to it. A lot of people tilt their table to get like a 45-degree angle, lay the piece down. I hold it. This is not the proper way of doing it, but this is what I do. I start from the tail and I come up, and watch me. I'm just going to take just a little bit off on the corner, okay? It gives a 45-degree chamfer. And then we do that on top and bottom on both sides. So I come in about 1/4 of an inch, and I walk the piece around, and it gets that excess off so that you don't have to deal with that when you start carving. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I trim that off. Now I got some inclusions in the wood here. That should go away, when I cut it out. Okay? And now you have a blank that's been trimmed. Let me shut this off. I got a blank that's trimmed off on the corners. And now we're ready to do some work on the piece. But I wanted to show you how to mark up the blank so that you can cut your own out. And then on the next video, we'll start marking this out and then start the structure with bits and machinery, the shaping of this. And I'll show you how to do that. But I hope you got something out of this one. This is how we make the blank, okay, for the goldfinch. And for those who have a bandsaw, this is the way I do it. Like I said, you can tilt the table so that you can get this tilted, okay? I usually just hold it myself, but every once in a while, this wants to bite and take it, and I just let it go. But most of the time, I've been doing this too long. I cheat a little bit, and I'll be honest with you. I just want to tell you that up front. So I trim them off, and I seem to have the capability of doing it, and maybe not the smartest way. So I hope you got something out of this one. If you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up on this. And if anybody, like I said before, enjoys what I'm doing, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. Also ask you to subscribe to my channel. And if you know of anybody that may be interested, if you can pass my information on, it's a great help. And I do have a catalog that you can get from me. It's Rauscher is the email, and you can contact me through my email. It's Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 @gmail.com. And I will gladly email you out a catalog. You could take a look and see. My telephone number is on there as well. If you want to talk about what's good, what's bad to get involved with, I'll try to do that too and encourage you one way or another. And hope to see you on the next video, and we're going to really start shaping the blank. Okay? So hope you got something out of this again, and I'll see you on the next video.